So it has almost been a year since Pet Simulator X came out with the Yeet, a pet update, and completely died, with PS99 coming out afterwards. So today, we will be replaying Pet Simulator X on a new account to revisit every update, and giving away huges in the process. Let's go! Today, we are back in the original Pet Simulator X, where you had to click breakables to attack, and wait a whopping 3 seconds for eggs to hatch. Many remember this game as their first experience with Pet Simulator, as it was the most popular game in the series at that point. But even though many of us have left PSX to play PS99, a far better game, there are still many players playing the game. And considering I have no more use for the transferred huges and my exclusives, today we will be giving them away to random people and starting from the beginning new account. So without further ado, let's go! In Pet Simulator X, you could only pick one pet to start off with, and there were no tutorial for new players, which was one of the key reasons why it died. Players also started off with low walk speed, which was incredibly annoying. The Spawn World was also the first update of Pet Simulator X. It brought the Dominus Astral to the exclusive shop, which was the most expensive pet in the game for a long time after release back then. The borders were all messy, and the teleport was a paid feature, and many remember the Volcano chest as a tough boss chest, so let's play through this update. I still remember it was really annoying for me to start playing PSX because the new pets were so slow, so I had to resort to begging. But for now, we just have to wait for the coins to drop. At least the game gave me a message of when to hatch the eggs. Speaking of eggs, the Volcano egg and the Dominus egg were the best eggs in the game back then, and YouTubers like Russo had great excitement in hatching the Dormortis, the best pet back then. But today, we won't be doing that. Auto hatch also costed money back then, which was why people aligned the camera in this position with an auto clicker to mimic the auto hatch game pass without spending money. But for now, let's just farm and keep hatching. So this player was really kind and gave me a Doodle Fox with trillions of power. I'm gonna tell them to friend my PSX account soon. I can give them a lot of transferred huges and a Hugh Kangaroo later. Back then, these mini chests were common, but there was a chance of a blue and orange Giga chest of spawning in the spawn area if there were enough space. Sadly, it was removed later, but you can still find it in the PS99 wiki pages. And yo, we just got a free Empyrean Fox. I think these free thank you eggs were added in the Hacker Portal update to help new players, which is crazy for sure. Now, let's JST speedrun the Spawn World. This was the biggest chest when Pet Simulator X first released, but it is nothing now. And yo, we just got another free thank you eggs. I wonder if there was a chance of hatching the mythical glitch Demortis in the egg just now. But now, it is time for the Fantasy World. This was the second world, and it added all islands up to the Hell Island, because the Heaven Island was added the next update, which also introduced new exclusives. This update also added the mythical Wyvern of Hades and Phantom Volf pets into the game. It was considered a massive update back then, and added tons of new eggs and pets with original models. Hatching a mythic back in the day was like hatching a huge now, which was why people were so excited over the new rarity of pets. Only really lucky ones could hatch them. But it looks like with our new up pets, we can skip right to the Candy Island, which is where we are gonna grind the rest of our coins. Now, we can finally afford the Heaven Island and grind there. The two small chests you see here were once considered massive, and the Heaven's Gate chest was even bigger. The Heaven's Gate chest was also used to farm for tons of Halloween candy back in the day, with people getting millions of millions. So now, let's just break this a few times and move on to the Tech World, which had an entry in the Glacier Zone of the Spawn World. Now that we are at the Tech entry area, we can see the massive chest here. Like all the previous ones, this was also hard to break, except it was even harder. YouTubers like LCLC livestreamed for hours just to get the Circuit Breaker achievement, which you get from breaking this chest. It was also famous for falling on many YouTuber, like Nightfox. This massive chest fell on him multiple times during his videos racing with Woozloo. Now, we are at the Tech World. The best pets in this update were the Dark Matter Cybercats and the Prototypes Mythicals. Hutch were slightly easier to hatch than the Fantasy Mythics. The Dark Matter machine was also remodeled in a future update, and there was a secret room in the Steampunk chest. The Tech World was also home to two of the most nostalgic updates to me, which was the Alien Forest update and the Hacker Portal update, which had the Galaxy Fox and the 400 for Demon. I remember discussing fusing tactics with my friends about the Haxolotl Legendary, which we used to make profit. In fact, I love these updates so much that I actually set the update log for the Alien Forest update as my Discord profile image, which many disliked. But despite all that, I still think the tech world is one of the best worlds in Pet Simulator X. Let's speedrun this. Good job! We are now at the Void World update. It had free gifts and the Axolotl world. This also acted like a gateway to the future zones in Pet Simulator X, including Limbo, which was the final realm of Pet Simulator X before it was abandoned. The huge cupcake used to be able to hatch from free gifts by staying in the game, which later became one of the most existent huges in PSX. You only had a small chance of hatching it from the last two gifts in PSX, which was why they had to change the huge to a huge peacock in the Dog World update. For now, let's speedrun the rest of this world. Sorry this took so long, but we are now finally at the Cat World update. This brought the huge balloon cats, the cat throne room, the massive cat chest, and so much more. This was when they introduced weekly updates to the game to prevent it from dying the first time. Pet Simulator X had died to times before it met its grave, and this was the first. But Preston had the bright idea of adding weekly updates, which revived their game from the dead again. This was the hardest chest during the Cat World Part 1 update, and the golden variant of this chest was added during the Part 2, and became a very hard chest to beat back then. However, with a team of Rainbow Coins pets, players found ways to earn more coins from these chests without breaking them. Now, we're at the Doodle World update. This world was so incredibly unfair when it first released that many people went complaining to Daddy Preston on Twitter about how hard this was. It was later balanced in a future update. The most memorable parts of this update are the Doodle Parrot secret pet and exploiting the last chest with cartoon coins pets to earn so many coins a tick. The Doodle Farm was added in a later update, along with the final areas of the Doodle World. The huge pets added were the huge Doodle Cat and Doodle Fairy, which were obtained by hatching the final eggs. I'm gonna end this first part here since my computer is overheating and it feels like it's gonna explode.